So that's a good thing. Okay, we're being recorded now. Okay, maybe I'll begin. We are doing this meeting virtually as a result of the COVID-19 threat. The fire department I was mentioning and the emergency responders are beginning to get vaccinations. So hopefully we'll all be in that realm very shortly. In reference to our big concern, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well, with NOAA and weather alerts, and I'm not aware of any severe weather alerts in the near future. In fact, this week is supposed to be pretty good weather in the 40s, I believe. I want to thank Carl for getting out the full plan to everyone. Hopefully you had an opportunity to look at that and review it. If you do have time later, if you haven't done it yet, please take a look at that. As I said before, I'm not a fan of virtual meetings, and Hal was mentioning about possibly getting together. Maybe we'll look to do that in February. I think we can accomplish a whole lot more when we're in the same place. Which brings me to the business contacts, Hal, and I know that you had a comment in reference to that, and the township software program, which we haven't had an opportunity to view yet. We had the forms that we looked at, but we haven't had an opportunity to view the capabilities, I guess, of that program. I don't know if you had any option to see it or not yet, Hal, but and that's for emergency contacts and information that would be helpful in the event of an emergency.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these things are pending. This COVID has really knocked us backwards. Jerry Brown was going to give a report. And again, we were looking to do a tabletop on a flood scenario. He texted me a little bit ago. His wife is ill, so he won't be able to make it tonight. So we'll have that as a pending item under old business. And that goes with our photo identification and safety vests, which I have. I get an opportunity to see some of you in person, particularly you, Carl, I guess, at some point, at least disseminate the vest and photo identification. That's important, as we discussed before. The December activity I did send out to all of you, and I sent out the prep FEMA videos, one on flooding and one on power outages. Hope you had an opportunity to view those. Very insightful information. Well done, actually. Probably the biggest thing that happened was the Christmas Eve storm. Both Carl and I were monitoring power failures. I see Ed's on. Ed, Kingsman Road again, right? Thornton, Kingsman, Fleming, that whole entire area. We were monitoring that. Actually, I spoke to the electric company there. Another tree down plus the outages. Creekside was probably our biggest area of concern, with initially reporting over 500 outages. Fortunately, that was brought back to service in due order, particularly probably the worst time of the year, Christmas Eve. I don't know, Ed, do you have any comment? I mean, I know I spoke to, it looked like there were Duke Energy came in to help you out, but was there any major issues that you can report in your neighborhood?
No, everything was, unfortunate event. But then the next thing you know, everybody responds and they come down and they do what they got to do and get the power back on as quick as they can. So my hat's off to all the utility workers. That it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So, but no, everything went smooth. I think there were a couple that had to make insurance claims because they naturally had a refrigerator and freezer full of food. But for the most part, everything was smooth. So thanks to all that were involved. So
where was the tree
Yeah,
at?
how long were you out?
I wasn't out.
Oh,
It
good.
was the railroad track side of Kingsman Road.
Yeah.
Because that's fed
Yeah,
from
that's
the
where I
railroad.
saw the crew.
Yeah, Yeah, that one's fed from the railroad track. And then naturally one side of the center of the loop here, Kingsman and Thornton, all those houses, the poles are actually behind the houses. So, but it was the track side.
That's where it was last time.
Yeah. Yes. Last time it was down through the middle, those houses. So, and my house, I'm on the high school side. We're actually fed from my backyard, between my backyard and the high school. So, but everything went well.
Confused me. I saw a lot of lights on when I drove around there and
Hmm.
couldn't really tell what
Yeah.
was going
Yeah. If you don't know the layout of the grid down here, you'll go like, what? They said the power was at, yeah. So over the years, through the process of elimination, we figured out who's got what and who's fed from where. So, but everything worked out well.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, there were a few pockets throughout the township, but again, we monitored it. There was no need, fortunately, for us to go into action at all or request any assistance. Again, that's probably the things we're going to be looking at: power outages and flooding, the two main issues. The email I sent out this afternoon is something that, if anyone is interested, I realize the timeliness of it, but you would just indicate that you're part of the emergency management team when you sign up, and that's DEMA, Delaware Emergency Management. I get different courses and information from them, from time to time. So, this one looked like it said for emergency management if you had an opportunity to look at it. And sometimes you just pick up on some good ideas by monitoring these courses. And for you, Ed, it deals with school, so
Okay.
that might be something you may want to really look at.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I got it up on I'm on my phone for the call, but then I got I'm on my laptop now looking at it. So,
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
Basically the same thing. So that was our activity. And there were other things that I won't go over all those things in December that our team was involved in. Just trying to keep active as much as we can during this time. I haven't had on the agenda, I have new members. I haven't had any requests by anyone. I'm still seeking out people to become part of the team. But again, it's a difficult time to do that. But hopefully we'll be able to get some better numbers. So we have people in various positions or backup positions as we need them. I'm not aware of any old business other than probably the things I mentioned prior. I don't know, Carl, do you have any old business on your end?
Not really. I guess the only comment was on, we were talking about the Christmas Eve incident. I just thought it was interesting. There was probably at least 5 locations that I had on my list with significant outages. And just looking around, it seemed like almost all of them had underground service, other than, the Kingsman area there. But all the others seemed like they were underground service. So interesting.
Julio, I see you're on. Did you have any issues with regard to any fire police activity during the storms?
I don't think so. I can't really actually remember.
And Julio, I know last time, we discussed at length about your father and the contributions that he's made to the community. And again, our sympathies with you and your family.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Does any other member have anything to reflect on the? Sorry for the dog barking. That's the canine. Any other activity of Christmas? Any issues with power? I guess, as Carl mentioned, there was various places in the township. Actually, we fare better than a lot of people. Okay, hearing no old business. New business? Any new business? Things have been quiet, and hopefully remain so. Is there anyone on from the public? Andrew, do you see anyone on from the public? If there's any question or comments? Okay, does anybody have anything they want to discuss?
Hey, it's Andrew. I don't see anybody on from the public right now.
All right, sir, thank you. And thank you for your assistance with regard to setting this up tonight.
No problem.
If
Anyway, I
I'm
can
not
help.
mistaken, go ahead.
I don't know.
Well,
Did
we-
anybody discuss the 6 ABC warning that came out earlier today?
Not yet. Not yet. I
Okay.
just actually saw that. I don't know if anybody knows what he's referring to, the possibility of some armed demonstrations in all of the 50 state capitals from now, possibly through inauguration. This Thursday, due to my work, I have a secret clearance, and I actually have a call with the FBI this Thursday. If there's anything that we're allowed to disseminate or pass on, I will do that through our group, okay? Just so we're aware. We're in difficult times, and thank you for mentioning that, Andrew. So it's just something to be alert and aware of, and monitoring the news media, and if we get some additional insight from my contacts and through my intelligence sources. Actually, I had gotten a notice from the Pennsylvania State Police a couple of days ago just to be on alert. And it was probably more law enforcement related, but it does affect us in the community as well. If there's no one on in reference to any public comments and no one else has anything further to report, I mentioned our next meeting is February 8th. And Andrew, confirming our time slot is 1800, 6 p.m., correct?
Yeah. So the rest of the year it'll be at 6:00 p.m.
Okay, and we're second Monday. Has everyone agreed to that? Unless there's a holiday or something that we can work around, but that's where we're at this point. And we'll look to see if we can get together in person on February 8th. Andrew, do you
Would be
see
nice.
everyone that's logged in, right, for the record?
I can take a list down for you.
Okay. We're a few short tonight, as I mentioned, because of conflicts. John Ortega and Sam Ortega, they notified me, and Jerry Brown. It's just for the record, that's all.
Okay.
All right, well, I thank you all. For those football fans, we got a game tonight, a little later. For those that are not, just have a great night, and a Happy New Year to all. I appreciate your support. Again, if you think of anybody out there might be interested, a new member, so we can get these numbers up, and then hopefully get it to a point where we actually get together and delegate more clearly responsibilities so that we're prepared. So thank you for your continued interest. Have a good night.
Thank
Okay,
you,
good
Bill.
night. All right, good night.
Thanks, Bill.
So, yeah.